Hello, this is Dee from dmiddleton.com, and today we're looking at how to create Pinterest pins using Canva. I want to help you create viral, click-worthy pins by using the tool Canva. And we're going to go ahead and jump in and get started. And this is part of my series, Make Money Blogging Using Pinterest. So that is something you're interested in, go ahead and join me. So here in the corner, we've just clicked Create. We're going to type in the search bar, we're going to type in Pinterest pin, and it's going to populate the size that we want to choose. Of course, we want to choose this one here. So the first one that shows up. It's a 2:3 ratio. So now it's very important on your Pinterest pin that you use good images and you use good font. Font needs to be easy to read, and as often as you can use your own images, the better. It will be better for you on Pinterest because they're your own personal images, and it will also be better for you when you're getting ready to be monetized if you have a lot of your own original images. Now, over here on the left-hand side, I'm showing you some templates that populated when we typed in Pinterest pin, and these are Canva templates that are available. And if you're just getting started, you may be tempted to use these templates. I certainly did when I first started. And it looks like a lot of these are in the paid version of Canva. You see the little crown there on the bottom of the image. That shows that it's part of the paid version. That template is not free. So, but I want you to get good at creating pins. So today we're not using a template, but there are templates available. And the reason that we don't want to use a template over and over or continue to use templates is because if everyone else is using the same template on Pinterest to create their pins from Canva, then yours is not going to stand out. And we want yours to stand out. We want your pin to be click worthy and go viral. And for it to do that, we're going to need to use some of our own images. Now, you can use the images down here. If you've run out of your own images, you can use some of the images that Canva offers. But remember that little crown there I'm pointing out means that that image is part of the paid version. That image is not part of the paid version. So you could use that one if you're using the free version of Canva because there's not a crown on that one. But since we're using the paid version today, I can show you a lot more features and a lot more options. And you'll want to upgrade to the paid version eventually if you want to make it your 9 to 5. So here I've selected a picture of my darling dog, Sugar. So here she is. We're going to we've uploaded it from our phone into uploads using the Canva app. That's the easiest way to do it. So if you're taking photos with your phone and then you go and upload it. Now we've got our image in, we're going to add some font. So we're going to add some words here. This needs to be your blog post title. And here you're going to want to use a title with keywords in it. And then down here, you're going to want to use some more keywords. Now, if you haven't watched my video on how to find good keywords for Pinterest using pin clicks, you want to go back and watch that because that's the tool I use every day to get the correct keywords to add to my blog post and to get found on Pinterest. So to go viral on Pinterest, you need to know what keywords people are searching for. And pin clicks tool from Tony Hill will show you how to do that. And I'm going to link that below in the comment section. I'm sorry, in the comment section and the description below. Now, the next thing I'm doing here is I'm adding my website. I always like to add my website to a pin. That way, that number one, it shows that it's my pin. And then number two, if my pin were to ever get stolen, and I have to report it to Pinterest, I can prove to them that it's my pin because it has my website right there on the bottom. So you might want to get in the habit of doing that. Now, what's going on here is we have a beautiful image. We have our picture we like, and we have some words that are necessary. We've got our blog post title. We've got our keywords that fit with the blog post title, but you can't read them, can you? So we're going to need to make these words stand out. So we're going to need to put something behind it. So to do that, we're going to click over here to Elements, going to go down here to Shapes, and we're going to click on just a basic square. Now see how it populated a gray square? We're going to change that in just a minute. So we're just stretching it behind our words, and we're going to make our words larger and kind of spread them out here where you can make them easier to read. Now we're going to change the color to white because we have black words. We're going to put them on a white background. Now, if you had a black background, you might want to use white words. You want it to stand out. So here we're stretching out our words and we're going to make it fit within that block. So now we've positioned that, we've got it how we like it. But you can't see the dog now, can you? So we're going to need to change that. So we're going to click on the white box, going to go up here to that little grid board, checkerboard thing there, and we're going to change the transparency. So we're going to make it kind of clear, like a clear overlay almost. There you go. So now it's more transparent. You can see the darling dog. You can see the words. It stands out so much better. So now you've just created a very simple Pinterest pin that could go viral if you use good images and use the right keywords, and your image matches your description, and it's clickable. It's something people are interested in. If they're searching your keywords in the search bar, this pin could populate under your keywords if you've done this correctly. So you have created a new pin. Now, a fresh pin means it has a new image or new something about that particular pin. So if I was writing a blog post today, I would upload 6 new pins about that blog post to Pinterest to promote it. So how am I going to get 6 new pins? That means I'm going to change something about the pin each time that will make it a new pin. So I'm either going to change the font there in the title. I might change some of the words, add a different word. I might add an arrow. We'll do that a little bit later in the video. But I'm going to change something that makes this not the exact same pin. You cannot go in and create 6 exact pins that look identical to the one I just made. You're going to need to change something. The easiest way to do this, you can flip your image. Now you can't do that here because there's writing on the cup. You can see it reversed that. So if there's writing or numbers on your image, it's going to be hard to do that. So what you're going to do is choose a new image. Now I've already uploaded a few here, so we're going to choose a new image. So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to get rid of that one. I'm going to click on that trash can down there. We're going to add my new image. So there's Sugar again, her cute little self. So now we have a new image that I have uploaded that we're making a new pin. So now this is going to make a fresh pin, even though our template is basically the same. Our words are the same. We're changing out the image, which will make it a new pin, right? But this is covering her face a little bit. So I would like to change this up. So we're going to drag this down and kind of make sure that the image we want to be seen is not completely covered up here. So we'll drag this stuff down. So that looks good. I'm happier with that. I'm happy with the position of it. You can see her cute face, but you can still read the words and you can still kind of see what the pin is about. Okay, so again, you've got a good image. Now, a lot of times what I like to do is edit the filter here. So if I'm not crazy about the color of the image, I might go over here and click a filter. That gives it a more yellow tone. That one makes it a little bit more pink. We're going to go back with that one with a yellow tone. I like that one. So we'll choose that one. And then also you want your words to always stand out again. So if you're using a light background, choose dark words. If you're using a dark background, use light words. And now we just flip that image again. So now we've just created 2 new pins because we flipped the image. That's all we had to do. Now here we're going to change that. I don't think it stands out very well, so we're going to make that a dark font because it's a lighter background. So now you have a new image just from flipping it, right? So pretty easy. You can do this several times to get up to 6 pins, right? If you wanted to do 6 pins like I'm telling you. So I'm going to go over here. I'm grabbing another image. Going to click over here and get that stretched in shape here. And kind of the same, you're seeing we're doing the same things. You've got your image, you're positioning it backward. Now we got to drag this box because it's covering her face. We want to move the box up here. And again, move our words, our blog post title, and our keywords. We're going to need to move up here toward the top. Now, looks pretty good, but the website, you can't read the website. So let's change the font there, make it go back to white. Now, what if I wanted to point out certain keywords? What if I were making a chocolate cake, for example, and I'm doing pins about a chocolate cake. I've made a blog post about a chocolate cake, and I want to point out that it's sugar-free. Then I am going to go in here and use an arrow to point out that it's sugar-free. But first, I want to show you how what not to do with some of your fonts here. So you saw I just changed that to kind of a scripted font, because even though this font here, it might look plain and boring, it's easy to read. So you want your viewer, who may be coming from the smartphone, who may be coming from a small screen, a handheld device, you want them to be able to easily read what's on the pen. And if you use a crazy font, some kind of script or cursive font, it's going to be hard for them to read it. And it may even be hard for Pinterest to categorize what that pen is about. So because we want your pins to be click-worthy and to go viral, we want to make sure to use a very simple, easy to read, bold font. Now you can mix your fonts here and play with it a little bit. But that's what I like to do. I wanted to stand out. Now I mentioned that red arrow earlier. Let's say I'd made a chocolate cake pen, and it's a sugar-free chocolate cake. So down below in my blog post title, I have chocolate cake recipe, and the keyword I want to point out is sugar-free. Then I might want to use a red arrow, which I chose over here in Elements. And again, I'm using the paid version, so I can use those little ones that have the crown on it. If you're using the free version, you'll need to look for ones that don't have the crown. So because of the paid version, we've chosen to use this little arrow. So we were going to point out these keywords. We want that part to stand out on Pinterest. We want Pinterest to pick up on the fact that we are pointing out that that particular cake is sugar-free. So what that's going to do is help Pinterest to rank it in the proper category. So when people go in the search bar and they're searching in a chocolate cake, and they're going to search in sugar-free, then we want yours to stand out. Now, what am I doing here? I'm just going in and using the standard images. If you're running out of uploads, you have all your own photos that you've used up, then you might want to go in and use some of their own. This was a free version here. This is a free version here because it doesn't have the crown in it. So I can use the paid version because I'm on the paid version. So I'm going to select that one here and just going to drag this one into place. So I'm going to change that font color to stand out. So again, we moved it back to black, and we're going to position that behind our word. So now it's behind the arrow. Now, do you remember that white box? Now you can't see it because the background is white. So we're going to want to change that white box to a different color to make this stand out. So we're going to select the white box again, and we're going to click over here to color, and we're going to choose to make it black. Now, remember, we've used the transparency feature, so it kind of looks gray, doesn't it? So we've moved our image backwards, but we want to make that not transparent anymore. We want to put white font on a black background, right? We want it to stand out. So we're going to change that to white. And then same thing here, we're going to change those words to white. Now, because that is transparent, it looks kind of gray. I want it to be black. So I'm going to go back up here to the transparency. I'm going to drag that little bar over and make it a bold black, a solid black. So there you have a new pen, just like that. So you've got your darling little dog here. You've got your keywords, you got your blog post title. Now, what if we want to get rid of the background? What if that dog was on a green background? Click on background remover right up there. And what if we want to change that background to make it a prettier color? Let's choose like a turquoise green or something here. Now that looks nice. So we can make it stand out. You can make a whole new pen just by changing a color or a font style or an image. You need to change something. Even that little arrow, you could use a different arrow, would make it a new pen. So you've got yourself a brand new pen here when you've added that different background, right? So we went from using a white background to this colored background. Now, again, you could take this image, since you've already got it here, and you could just save it. Now you have a template. When you come back in here to create pins again for this blog post, you already have a template created. So now you've done the hard part. Now all you have to do is go in and change out some images. So here we're going to select that cute little dog. So we've got rid of the background by using background remover. So we're just creating a brand new pin because it has a new image. Or you could change it with the same image and change the font style. So there's a different font style. So you can change that font style. You can change this one, just something to make it slightly different. And that is creating fresh pins, because remember, you need to upload fresh pins to Pinterest for your blog post. You're not going to be uploading the exact same pin every time. That could trigger a spam filter going off on you. So you don't want to keep uploading the exact same thing. And it takes very little time. Once you've got this template made, now all you have to do is go in and either change your image or the color or the font or something and make it a new pin. So it's fairly simple once you've created these over and over again. And I've done this so frequently that I can create about 6 new pins in a matter of about 10 minutes because I have so many templates that I've created. I have so many pins that I've saved that have done well on Pinterest that I can keep reusing those same pins as long as I've changed something out, whether it's the image or the font or some type of an element like the arrow. So I hope that you've found that helpful. With the keywords there, I want to point out Tony Hill's pin clicks. I had mentioned that earlier in the video. I do subscribe to Pin Clicks. It is a keyword tool for Pinterest that helps you to learn what keywords are suitable for your blog post. So that's really important for you to be found on Pinterest. I'll link that below. Thanks for watching.